I might be getting another bike. Yep.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. So, this video is all about, I've got the bike building bug once again. I've kind of been working on this Project Yehu bike, and it's pretty much done and dusted. Yeah, I've got a bit of tinkering to do with, let's say, in the coming months, but that's all part of the fun. But I'm also thinking about getting another bike. Hopefully one that's in better shape than this one has been. But I'm looking at a 250 or a 450cc enduro bike. I might even go for a motocrosser, something like that, just to spice it up a little bit. Now, I was originally going to look to buy something like a Sportster and convert it into like an off-road scrambler type thing. And you know, quite a few people have done it. It seems to be the flavour of the month at the moment, or the last few months of doing this by certain sort of YouTubers out there. And it's not a new thing. It's been doing this for years. But then I got to thinking, do you know what? What I've always gone on about going off-road on bikes was to have something that's very light, very nimble. You can drop it, pick it up. So having something like this, in this case this is a super motard, but you know, it was originally going to be like an enduro conversion project, and that's still on the cards, of course. But the whole point of it is, it's got to be really light and really fun and enjoyable to go off-road and go and have a few trail rides and stuff like that. So I think the Sportster build was, one, it's been done before, and two, it's just, I don't think I'd really get the enjoyment out of the end product. I'd get lots of enjoyment in the project build itself, but not in the end product. So that's why I thought, you know what? Let me look at getting another bike, and maybe another 250, 450cc size bike, and see what I could do with it. And I could go quite old school in going for an old twin shock setup, and I fancy a twin shocker, you know what I mean? I fancy like a 70s bike, something like that, and that's what I started with anyway, twin shockers. So something like that, or I could even come right up to modern day. So it really depends. Again, I'm on the lookout for a project build, another project build, and also one that's not going to break the bank as well. So that's for the future, possibly. Really depends what I find, and if anything floats my boat, as it were. But the point of this video is, I suppose, to address a couple of things that I've noticed recently. I've kind of been getting back onto YouTube University and looking at a few videos here and there and see what other people are doing. I mean, I don't often do it because I tend to just focus on what I'm producing. And I've got to say, there's a lot of people out there who seem to know a lot of information, or claim to know, or they're not shy in coming forward and telling you how much they know as well. If everything in life were that simple, I suppose. I mean, my take on this about anything, you never stop learning, and the day you stop learning is probably the day that you're 6 feet under. I think, you know, coming off as all-knowing is a little bit of a cheek, really. I mean, I've just been out on my bike on the heroic Harley, and I was just following a guy who's built his own bike. I could tell he's kind of built his own bike, as it were, and I could tell that the frame was twisted, completely twisted, just by riding from behind him. Sometimes you get a false sense of a twisted frame. You might have a twisted subframe or twisted plastics and that kind of thing, but his was definitely twisted. And you kind of get impressions of people, and you think, well, he might look the part, he might dress the part, he might act the part, as it were, but he obviously doesn't think that his bike is twisted or the frame is twisted. Well, it is, and this is kind of indicative of lots of things that you find, isn't it? People will tell you all this stuff, or they will claim all these things, but it's it's very easy to pick holes into what somebody's doing, of course. And crikey, I mean, you know, I put some videos out and I pick holes in it myself. I mean, you know, I'm certainly no master technician here, that's for sure. And anybody who's seen me in the workshop will testify to that. But I think, you know, you can always learn, and you know, whenever getting project bikes, and you know, you buy a project bike or you start a project build because you might not have done one for many years, so you're kind of reteaching yourself, or you may not have worked on smaller engines. I mentioned this in a comment recently, that, you know, referencing this bike, because I'm going to have to split the engine come the winter, and you know, I haven't split one of these sorts of engines, like a 125, in, well, 30 odd years, something like that. I mean, I left this size bike behind many years ago, about 25-30 years ago, so I haven't really worked on them in all those years. So again, I'm just kind of teaching myself again, and I'm using old techniques that I haven't used in a long time as well, and some old tools. And you know, I was in one of the videos talking about extracting bolts. You know, I haven't had to extract a bolt in a long time, on a bike, that is. So you know, you kind of scratch your head and you think, oh, okay, how do I do that? Oh yeah, I remember how you do that. So you know, I don't know if having all the information and having it right there in your head is always possible, and kudos to those people who do. I mean, I think, you know, sometimes people might act the part and look the part, and you might see it on a YouTube video and people think, yeah, well, you do this and you do that. Well, I suppose as us in the YouTube world, we kind of know all about editing, and we can make something look really slick, but behind the scenes, you know, there's lots going on behind the scenes, and it's just the same as in any other workshop or anything that you're doing at home. You'll come up with a little issue and you think, well, how does this work? So you might go up on YouTube, or you might get your books out and start trying to figure it out yourself, or you use your past experience on other projects or other bikes and you apply it to that scenario as well. So, you know, I'm no different in that regard to anybody else, and crikey, I've made mistakes and I will continue to make mistakes just like anybody else as well. So I think sometimes, you know, watching videos or watching people at bike shows, and you think, oh, well, they're the finished article, they know everything. I would bet my bottom shekel, pound or dollar, that they don't know everything, and they make just as many mistakes as you do, or as I do as well. I just thought it was a bit interesting that, you know, on YouTube, for example, as a platform, there are so many people who are giving you information, sharing information, let's say, and giving you how-to videos, which is cool because that's how we want to learn things. There's also lots of people out there who will kind of poke fun at what other people are doing, or not poke fun, but trying to tell you exactly where somebody's going wrong and why they're doing it wrong. You know, but we all make mistakes, and we all do things sometimes in a right way, sometimes in a wrong way, you know, and sometimes the wrong way is actually the right way for what you want to achieve. And I always look at it from this point of view. Are you trying to achieve something? What is the goal? Is it just to get the job done, or is it to do it in a way that has been approved by so many other people? Now, some things you have to do it in a particular way. There is a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And other things you just need to kind of do the best you can. I would always say this as well. There's a massive difference between somebody who's got all the tools, like a full workshop or a professional mechanic, and you guys, or myself, and I put myself into this same category as well, who's just working from home. There's a massive difference. And some of the things that I show in my videos is because I just haven't got the tools. I haven't got the appropriate tools. So you're always trying to find other ways of doing things and other fixes, and it may not be, you know, 100%. Sometimes you hear people talk about certain ways of doing things, and then you think, well, actually, I've never done that, or you know, we never used to do that back in the day. We should just do it like this. So I still kind of don't particularly want to always agree with what somebody else is telling me, because I know from my own experience that actually we never used to do that. We just do it in a different way. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. It really depends. So, you know, this is life, isn't it? There's always many ways to do something. There's many ways to achieve the same result. You might want a different level of results according to what kind of bike you're working on, or a car, or whatever it is. You know, for me, the first phase of this project build was just to get it electrically and mechanically right and on the road. That's achieved. That's a tick in the box, as it were. Now, is it going to win any shows? No, it was never meant to be like that. But I do have a few plans to, you know, add a bit of bling to it, as it were, and freshen up. But again, that's for the future. So, you know, there's always many different levels in mechanics and engineering, and a lot of it is down to experience. A lot of it is down to the tools that you've got, the workspace that you've got, and also, you know, how confident you are as well. So, you know, I think there's it's very easy to look at somebody at a bike show, on the road, they've built their own bike, or on a YouTube channel, and think, wow, they're all knowing, or you think, well, that they're obviously an expert in this and I should always listen to what they're saying. But life isn't like that, I'm afraid. And you know, YouTube channels and people aren't like that. You know, everybody makes mistakes, and everybody will do something wrong at various points, even those ones that are, you know, all knowing. Guarantee that they mess up lots and lots and lots. But anyway, look, I thought I'd bring that to you because, say, I am thinking about another project build, and I'm thinking about, well, which direction should I go in again on this next one. And hopefully it's bringing you some videos that you might find interesting of the issues that I come across, or I'm having to deal with, or I'm having to teach myself again, or try and remember how to do something, because I haven't done it in years, let's say. And this is kind of bike building, and this is, you know, motorcycle mechanics for the everyday person, really, who doesn't normally work on bikes, or they used to work on bikes many years ago. But let's say, but modern bikes, they just don't break down that much, do they? So there isn't really the necessity to work on your bike like we used to have to back in the day. But anyway, look, I thought I'd bring that to you. You know, there's many ways to skin a cat, as they say, and hopefully there's another bike build coming at some point. No time frame on this. Still got lots of work to do on this. Still got lots of riding and work to do on the heroic Harley as well. And hopefully, well, get some great videos coming your way as well. But say, let us know what you think about all this stuff that I've talked about, kind of rambling on here, in the comments below. And you know, the people who have loads of experience and the people that look the part. And I always say this to people as one parting pearl of wisdom, and I say, don't look at the person who looks the part, you know, the 30-40-year-old guy who's dressed like a biker type thing. Have a look at the guy who's about 70 years old, who's just eating a sandwich quietly in the corner, who's like an engineer, who's worked on bikes his whole life but never really talked about it to anybody. That's the person you want to speak to, not the person who looks the part. It's the person who's quietly going about his business. You know what I mean? And certainly don't listen to me. You know what I mean? Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like and share, and check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. Ta-da!